Happening now, why the sheriff says a regional anthropology team is vital in the push to find answers after 2 sets of human remains were found last week in Chautauqua County, plus a local teacher speaking out about the state's COVID mandates in schools.
Well, if you want that fall air, don't have good news for you. It looks like that warmer air is going to continue for a while. We'll talk about it in detail next as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Work to identify the first set of human remains found last week in Chautauqua County is continuing with the help of a regional college's forensic anthropology division, something the county sheriff says is vital to his investigation. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould, and we start with continuing coverage. Our Bronson Rasmussen is looking into the probe into the case, which continues today, and explains how the investigation would not be possible without one key component.
Sheriff Jim Quattrone held a press conference yesterday identifying the second body that was found in the town of Portland as a missing Buffalo woman. However, at this hour, the first skeletal remains discovered is still unidentified. Quattrone says that Mercyhurst University's Forensic Anthropology Department is playing a critical role in finding answers.
Mercyhurst is continuing doing their analysis. It's that Forensic Anthropology unit. First of all, they've been awesome to work with, very helpful and very transparent with us.
This is not the first time the sheriff has worked with Mercyhurst, led by Dr. Dennis Dirkmatt. They provide crucial details about the decomposed bodies found.
What Mercyhurst is doing for us is they are hopefully being able to give us some of the physical characteristics, height, approximate weight, approximate age, as well as ethnicity. So those are the things that they're doing for us.
The sheriff has had a chance to meet with the forensics unit and says he was amazed at how quick and accurate they can provide information.
We had the opportunity to go to their campus and to their lab, and where they can share what they're doing right along. And they still have a lot of work to do, and they're going to continue to assess and then give us a final report relatively soon.
Since their investigation began, dental records revealed that the bones are not those of missing women Lori Bova or Corey Anderson. The sheriff says, however, he is hopeful the remains could be those of Patricia Lamhart. Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. In addition to the college's examination, some parts of the remains are headed to the State Police Crime Lab in Albany for DNA testing. A teacher in Chautauqua County is receiving national attention after taking a stand against state COVID-19 mandates in schools. Pine Valley School history teacher Angela Bindner first spoke out during a town hall hosted by State Senator George Borrello last week. Since then, she says thousands of people have come forward showing support for her stance. Specifically, she feels the mandates are violating the U.S. Constitution. And as an educator, she feels it's important to inform not just her students but the community too.
Nowhere in there that says, government, stop what you're doing. Step up, protect the people by forcing mandates and taking their rights away from them.
As for schools, she's concerned for the future of education as a whole.
I believe that there's definitely an agenda and there's a narrative to be told. And if you step outside of that narrative at all, you're targeted and you're eliminated from the system, which I'm sure I will be at some point here.
Biddinger says she's currently under investigation by the district for her teaching methods. She would not go into great detail since the probe is underway, however, explained she was simply trying to inform her students to make their own decision.
I'm not out there telling anyone, don't go get the vaccine. I am saying I am not getting the vaccine, and that should be okay. In any wonderful education system, we teach multiple perspectives. We give the students all sides of a story, and then we let them formulate their own opinions and make their own choices for what's best for them.
In the end, her message is simple, with Bigner hoping to inspire those who don't agree with the mandates, especially those at schools, to stand up peacefully and advocate for their opinion. She plans to further that message this weekend to a national audience as a guest on the Fox News talk show Justice with Judge Janine. That's Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Well, the mayor of Jamestown's proposed 2022 budget was released yesterday and includes funding for 44 capital projects, creating 7 new positions and no tax increases. Mayor Eddie Sundquist outlined his executive budget during a presentation at City Hall. The $38 million spending plan increases appropriations by over $3 million, with Sundquist saying property tax values are expected to grow 4% next year, continuing a trend of growth since 2019. Furthermore, the tax levy is staying the same at $23.69 per 1,000 of assessed property value. Sundquist says the sales are coming in at a record level with over 13% increase expected. The American Rescue Plan also playing a big part in drafting the budget, with $5 million in lost revenue recovery money allocated. At this point, the mayor says tax from cannabis sales are not included in this budget, but will likely bring in a good chunk of change to the city.
However, we are estimating conservatively that once those sales do begin and licenses are issued here in the city, we can expect anywhere from $700,000 to $1 million in additional revenue just from cannabis sales alone.
The City Council will begin reviewing the budget on October 18th. The lawmaking group is required to adopt a final plan by the end of November. Residents can read their full budget plan online at jamestowny.gov/budget. Well, Halloween is just around the corner, and a family-owned and operated fall-time celebration here in Chautauqua County is ready to provide a good scare. Our Dante Roberts joins us now with more on what's happening. Dante?
Justin, each year the Minor family hosts Pumpkin Town, where residents can spend the weekend with their families and enjoy the great outdoors at their facility at 3435 Baker Street Extension in Busti. New this year, the group is now offering several new activities, including what they are calling the Field of Screams. The 45-minute experience starts with a hayride around the property and includes a 4-acre corn maze with various scares built into it. So far, there's been a lot of positive feedback.
They were happy because it was quite scary, you know, and yeah, we're real happy with it. We made a few adjustments, you know. The first weekend, the first time around, you kind of have to get figured out what to change, what needs improvement, what could be moved around, and I think we've made those changes from the first weekend, and we're ready to go this weekend.
There is another new attraction this year as well, called Western Town, an interactive paintball shooting range where animatronics pop up. In the end, Minor wants everyone of all ages to enjoy what they have to offer.
It makes it all worth it when you run into people. Oh, we had a great time up at Pumpkin Town. You see the same people come back week after week, you know, and support you. And it's been a great thing. It really has. I never dreamed that it would have got this big, and that we would have been, you know, supported so well from the community.
Pumpkin Town is open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays, with the Field of Screams running on Friday and Saturday nights from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Justin, back to you.
Yeah, certainly going to get your scare on there, Dante. Now, did he provide an age range for folks? Is there kind of a cutoff point, or is this something that anybody can go to?
So this is actually something that anybody can go to. He actually mentions that adults are actually very surprised by how they get scared coming through the attractions.
Yeah, so certainly you gotta keep your kids close. That's for sure. And I know Pumpkin Town, they have so much with such a variety of age groups. So certainly something cool to check out. Dante, thank you. Let us know what you guys think about this and more in the comment section down below. We all always love to hear from you. And one person who we've been hearing from, well, I mean, every day you have segments on this show, is Dakota Hunter.
People are tired of me.
We're not tired of you, but your weather job is pretty easy, I'd say, this week. Nothing but beautiful sunshine, and you'd think it was summer out there.
Yeah, I mean, we've been mentioning it the past few days, how it's really feeling more like a third summer out there when you really think about it. And it's kind of feeling like it, though, isn't it? I mean, we should not be this warm in October. Should not be this warm. But Chautauqua institution. Almost said Chautauqua Lake, not Chautauqua Lake, but you can see there just a few clouds dotting the sky right now, and temperatures in the upper 60s to around 70. And we do have a few rain showers offshore Lake Erie. These are moving up into the Niagara Peninsula, will not impact us, but there will be a chance for a couple of rain showers through the afternoon, but it's a spotty chance of maybe a light rain shower or maybe even a sprinkle as we go through the afternoon hours today. And we'll take a look at the almanac, and the high yesterday was 75. We started the day at 60. 83 is the record, so believe it or not, we have had temperatures this warm before, but it doesn't happen very often. That was set back in 1949. 25 in 1984 broke the record low. So through the afternoon today, we'll see a good mix of sun and clouds. Then we'll see an isolated sprinkle as we go through the later afternoon hours. It's a small chance, but the most amount of rain should hold off until tonight into tomorrow. 71 to 76 with a southeast wind. Now this warm air is going to continue for the foreseeable future. And as we mentioned, we do have a rain shower or two to go through tomorrow. We'll time it all out along with that 7-day forecast later on in the show. Justin.
New York's governor has signed a package of bills that aim to fight the opioid crisis. Governor Kathy Hochul put pen to paper yesterday, saying the bill should reduce drug-related overdose deaths across the state. Specifically, the measures expand medication-assisted treatment, decriminalize the possession and sale of hypodermic needles and syringes, as well as encourage those suffering from addiction to seek help. She explaining this is something that is personal to her.
It was about 6 years ago when we lost my beloved nephew to addiction, and he started out like many other families experience. He did not set out to be a teenage addict. That was not his goal in life.
Additionally, the bills also expand the number of crimes committed by those with a substance use disorder that are eligible for diversion. Well, the governors of 4 northeastern states agreed yesterday to share information about firearm purchases to help detect and investigate strong buyers and other gun crimes. Chief executives in Connecticut, New Jersey, PA, and here in New York signed an agreement to exchange gun crime data for use only by law enforcement, with provisions governing security and mandated notice if the information is misused or abused. The 4 Democratic governors say the initiative will help target gun networks that cross state lines. The states plan to share that details that they get with the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Now, through a program called E-Trace, which reports that information to them. The states can also share gun data that predates the Thursday agreement as well. They are not required to share traces that are considered priority and or sensitive, according to the agreement text. Well, coming up, what a regional toy store has to say about international shipping issues, and later we're off to the Humane Society to meet our latest furry friend that's up for adoption. Stay with us as WNY News Now.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
Located along the Amish Trail, the Randolph Retail Company offers a variety of clothing, jewelry, and gifts for any occasion. Offering uptown merchandise at small-town prices, our locally owned business balances quality and value. With complimentary gift wrap here at the Randolph Retail Company, we pride ourselves in personal service. Check out our Facebook page or stop in today at 127 Main Street, Randolph, just a 20-minute drive from Jamestown.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
In a dramatic vote on Capitol Hill, the Senate approving a short-term agreement to increase the debt ceiling limit for several weeks, but not before 11 Senate Republicans broke ranks to vote with all Democrats to overcome a filibuster so that the debt ceiling deal could move forward. Melissa Rainey with more.
A crucial vote Thursday night on the debt ceiling.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 48.
Paving the way to avoid the first default in American history for now. The bargain between Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
We have reached agreement to extend the debt ceiling through early December.
And Minority Leader Senator Mitch McConnell.
The majority didn't have a plan to prevent default, so we stepped forward.
Calls for increasing the debt ceiling by $480 billion. That's the amount of money the Treasury Department told Congress it needs to get to December 3rd of this year.
But we do need to settle it longer term. You know, what we're really talking about here is, can you count on the government to pay its bills?
GOP leaders initially struggling to secure 10 Republican senator votes necessary to break a filibuster on the agreement to raise the debt ceiling.
Senators voting in the negative: Blackburn, Cotton, Cruz, Graham, Grassley.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warning lawmakers the job is still far from done. Yellen warning of a potential economic catastrophe that could impact millions of Americans if a long-term solution is not agreed upon in the near future. Yellen proposing eliminating the debt ceiling altogether.
It's flirting with a self-inflicted crisis.
I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
The next steps, the House will also have to approve extending the debt ceiling. Once approved by them, it will be sent to President Biden for his signature. Well, kids 5 to 11 could get their first COVID-19 vaccine before the end of the month. Pfizer applying for emergency use authorization for its vaccine for kids in that age group. So what are the top things parents should know? Well, first, let's talk about timing. An FDA panel scheduled to meet on October 26 to go over that data, and approval could come at the end of the month. Number two, there's a dosage difference here. Kids in this age group would likely get a third dose adults and teens get. Number three, experts say the side effects are similar to what happens to adults, like a sore arm, tiredness, or headaches. And number four, the White House saying it's ready to roll with supply for pediatricians' offices and community sites, along with pharmacies and maybe even some schools. Number five, more states could require COVID vaccines for their students. The U.S. Surgeon General thinks so anyways.
I think part of the reason you're going to see more states likely move in that direction post-authorization is because we all want our kids to go back to school, to be able to stay in school, and to be safe.
If the vaccines get a full FDA approval, it still needs the CDC's recommendation. Based on the timetable of Pfizer's vaccines for adults, some kids could be fully vaccinated by Thanksgiving. Well, speaking of the holidays, there's a backup at sea that could put your holiday presents in peril. Erie News Now's Kara Coleman visited a regional toy shop that's struggling to stock their shelves in time for the holiday rush.
It's the first step in getting those gifts under the Christmas tree, buying them at stores like this. And the owners here at Inside the Jelly Jar tell me right now here in early October, this is about as stocked as their store is going to be through the holidays as they continue to deal with those shipping challenges. Kathy Steiner has worked at this shop at the Colony Plaza for more than a decade, but shipping delays are making that job a bit more challenging.
Yes, because usually we'd order in a couple weeks you'd have it, so now you're talking months before it comes in.
And it's only expected to get worse as the holidays inch closer and more people look to check off their sometimes long shopping lists.
Well, right now our Playmobil order is struggling. puzzles. We've had some of our vendors we've had ordered for a couple months and it's still backstocked. They're telling us that they will fulfill those orders, but we don't know when they're coming.
But it's not just small shops like this one. Even big box stores are struggling, grappling with a massive bottleneck in the global transportation pipeline. Experts blame the pandemic and America's rising consumer demand. And even when shipping containers are unloaded, there sometimes aren't enough truckers to deliver them.
Receipt okay in the bag?
Yeah.
So the advice to the consumer? Shop early.
We're telling them if you see it on the shelf, get it because it may not be here in a week or a month, for Christmas.
Kara Coleman, Erie News Now.
Kara, thank you. Store workers say they're telling people if they need that item, it's best to order it now because they might not be able to order in time for the holidays. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now on this Friday. Hopefully you're having a great day out there. And we're streaming live here on Facebook, our website, WNYNewsNow.com, and mobile app. And now you can check us out on channel 716 on Roku, too. If you haven't added it to your channel lineup, just search channel 716 in the Roku store and download it today. In addition to the great local news content, there are also community features like the 716 Business Spotlight. And this weekend, we're taking a look at Foodies, Sweets, and Eats in an interview with owner Jade Rivera. That and more is streaming now on channel 716. Certainly check it out today. Well, one thing that we're always keeping our eye on is that weather forecast. And we turn to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter now with more on what we can expect for the weekend. And I hear it might be a good weekend to get out and smell the grapes. You got a chance to do that yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a little trip to Buffalo yesterday, and coming back home, not only was the sky beautiful, but how about those grapevines in the North County? And those are just about ready for harvest. Of course, we are now in the grape harvesting season. So, of course, this is when all the local wineries love this time of the year because the grapes get harvested and you get to smell those grapes as you drive through the North County. And a little fun fact for you, actually, Chautauqua County is the biggest grape production region east of the Colorado Rockies. And also, Chautauqua County is home to the largest Concord grape region in the entire world. We grow the most Concord grapes out of anybody across the entire globe when you think about it. And so we have just a remarkable grapevine. I mean, we have a great grape cultivation area here. That's a tongue twister for you. Say that 3 times fast. But it's great to get out there to just look at the vines and smell those grapes. It's oh so good. Getting me hungry already. And you can see here on the fall foliage map, the one thing that we really need, especially for the fall foliage, is cooler nights. And we don't really see that for a while, even though, as we mentioned yesterday, we're pretty much in this midpoint on the fall foliage map. The colors don't look as good as they should this time of the year, mainly because of the warmer nights we've had. So we have to really get those cooler nights to get the colors to become vibrant. Friday night lights tonight, Jamestown not at home. They're traveling to Hamburg tonight to take on the Bulldogs, and it's going to be a nice night for football up there in Hamburg. 72 degrees at kickoff, down to around 68 by the fourth quarter, and Jamestown is undefeated. Hopefully they'll bring another win home, and wouldn't it be funny? Well, not funny, but wouldn't it be awesome if the Red Raiders go undefeated this season? Hopefully that is the case. Got a good amount of sunshine right now downtown. Right now, we are perched in the upper 60s right now. We're at 68, I believe, is the current temperature. 69, actually. I was 1 degree off of that on the newest update. Southeast wind of 5 and the dew point up at 61. So again, the dew point still a factor. You're still going to be dealing with a little bit of that mugginess in the air today. But all in all, it's not really too bad. But it's not really feeling like fall out there. And really, no real fall air is in sight here. How about next Tuesday? I've got 77 here. Now, the record, I believe, is in the lower 80s on Tuesday, so I don't think it's going to be a record breaker, but some spots on Tuesday, likely lower 80s. Yes, in October. It's happened before, but it doesn't happen very often. But our next rainmaker is the shortwave trough that's coming on in. That's going to bring in our next chance of rain, and that's going to be basically through the night tonight. So here's the newest run of future scans showing you just partly to mostly cloudy skies tonight, and then we'll see a few of those rain showers are returning overnight and then through the day tomorrow. Tomorrow's not going to be a washout, but scattered showers will be possible through the day tomorrow, and then we'll start to clear out as we go into Sunday. So temperatures through the afternoon, likely lower to mid 70s across the region today. A spotty shower possible through the afternoon. Now the future is up on the screen. We're down to 68. That's almost fall-like, but still above average. And then, yeah, just a dry stretch of weather continues through much of next week. The temperatures remaining in the 70s. We'll take a break. Be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back. In an effort to help our furry friends find a forever home, we're partnered with the Chautauqua County Humane Society in our segment, The Pet of the Week. Joining us live is Amanda Sublett to talk more about this week's featured furry friend. Happy Friday, Amanda.
Hey, Justin. I have my friend Moose here. He's about 8 years old. He did come to us as a stray, but I have never met a cat who is more willing to just be held and be cuddled. Pretty sure he's going to fall asleep like this if we wait long enough. He's got the sweetest old soul. He loves absolutely everybody. He's a great dude. Look at that. He loves watching out the window. If you have a spot for him to recline on, maybe some birds out there with our bird feeder. He's got one here he absolutely just loves to look at. Okay. I think it might be nap time.
Hey, you know, noon is the best time to take a nap. If I could, I totally would. How old is Moose? I know that's something that we don't always discuss too much here on the program, but you know, with having a tired cat, maybe a cat that's older, is that something that people have to, you know, act differently than, say, you know, obviously a kitten or something like that?
He's about 8 years old. He's not going to be active like a kitten, but he definitely gets up. He wanders around. He'll socialize with you. He'll seek you out. He's not lazy, per se, but he does enjoy his catnap, as we now know. Right?
Is that something that you see, Amanda, with older cats, is like older people, no stereotyping, but they maybe do take naps more throughout the day?
I'm going to go with maturity level. They've learned to calm down a little bit and just enjoy the finer things in life.
Yeah, that's a great answer, because mine's going to get me in trouble. But nevertheless, I know we talk about, you know, dealing with kids, and that's one big thing you guys are pushing for is education of not just kids, but everybody. You know, with having somebody like Moose here who, you know, still is active. I mean, he can jump, he can go, he can move. What types of things do you talk about when saying, okay, time to give him his space, you know, let him nap, but at the same time, you know, I'm sure he probably likes the attention.
He really does. With him, I'm going to be a lot less concerned because he truly does love everyone. But for him, when we talk about respecting his space, when he's napping, when he's eating, things that should be his alone time, I have to remind my 3-year-old constantly when the cat's in the litter box, he needs to be left alone. So these are things you would give him space for, but in all honesty, if he can get that attention, he's going to take it.
Absolutely. Now, he does appear to be, right, a complete black cat. Halloween's approaching. I hear that within the Italian community, black cats are actually good luck. Has he brought you guys good luck?
I don't know anything per se, but he certainly brings a lot of extra love into my life, and I absolutely adore him for it.
Yeah, so stereotypes aside, folks, just because he crosses your path doesn't mean anything at all. So Amanda, Brian, thank you both so much. To learn more about our furry friend here, or any other residents for that shelter for the matter, you can give them a call, 716-665-2209, or check them out online at chqhumane.org. In fact, it looks like nap time's over with, and now we're on to bird watching, which is a great pastime. Everybody loves that. So. All right, well, that's it for us today. Of course, news 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. Have a wonderful week.